ouch. Kill. Woo, what was that?
I think Kelly got a visitor.
Yeah, Callie must have had something going on. Ouch, man. Ouch. All right, let's take another caller. Caller, you're live on WZR Radio here on WZROnline.com. What's your name? Where are you from?
My name is Matt Boone, and I'm from Jacksonville, Florida.
Matt Boone, man, you're killing me, dude. You're absolutely killing me. You were ringing in on my cell phone.
You were at Wendy's. I thought it was okay.
Well, I was at Wendy's, but what do you think? I can just answer call waiting?
Well, you paused the show to let everybody hear your order go through the window there. I figured maybe you would see my call and say, oh, Boone's going to call into the show.
Look at the chat mark out. Look at the chat mark out from Matt Boone back on WZR Radio. Huh? Live, baby, live.
That's how you do it, man. You go away for a year, you come back, and they kind of like you just a little bit, you know. That's
so what's up? What's up, man? How you been? Well, I know how you been, but what's cracking?
I'm just sitting here listening to the show. I've been on hold for about 40 minutes. That's dedication, baby. I'm loving this show. You and Jose, you're doing your thing. I'm loving it. I'm into wrestling again, which I don't know if you told the fans or not, but so I'm down to I don't know.
Welcome home. We miss you.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm trying not to cry. I promised myself I wouldn't do this, but
friend.
How we doing, man?
It's good. I mean, it is what it is, you know what I mean? What do you got? What's cracking, man? Let's talk. What do you want to stay on here with me for a little bit or what?
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't know what the subject was right now. I knew you did a show last night, so I didn't even know you were doing a show tonight. So I was wondering, what is it, a WrestleMania theme, Raw theme? We talking about the draft? We talking about MMA?
It's a Wendy's theme.
Yeah, I heard that. That part I heard. He's hungry for some triple cheeseburgers and spicy chicken sandwiches, you know what I mean?
You got Clark traveling up to Wendy's.
I can't believe you heard that. I can't believe Matty
That's
Boone.
the radio first.
I'm going to hear so much shit from you over the next few weeks for going to Wendy's on a live radio show.
I think it's ingenious. I think it's a radio first. I think you're a pioneer. I think you're an innovator.
It's ratings, baby. It's ratings. Come on, Ryan Clark driving down to a Wendy's, ordering a couple double cheeseburgers and a
hey, we've gone down there and got a couple of number 6 supersized plenty of times.
You know, the sad thing about it is they couldn't get his order right either.
Yeah, they never can.
So let's talk WrestleMania, man. I mean, I know you watched the show. I know you're back watching wrestling. You're working for a competitor website, but nonetheless, you're back in the wrestling. You watch Raw every week. You watch WrestleMania. What do you think, man?
I thought WrestleMania, despite what I'm reading from a lot of the so-called sources and experts and ingenious wrestling historians, caught my breath. I think they're all wrong. I thought the show was great, and coming from a guy who has just got back into wrestling within the last, I'd say, 4 to 5 weeks, I've watched every episode of Raw, every TNA pay-per-view, every WWE pay-per-view. I thought it was a great show. I thought it was a really good show, especially, which I'm sure you guys talked about till you were blue in the face, Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker. One of the greatest things I've ever seen.
Oh, dude, one of the greatest matches ever on a WrestleMania. You know what I mean? They did the near fall finish, near fall after near fall after near fall, and it worked. You know what I mean? It clicked with the crowd. But the
you know what
main
was
event
about that though. The thing that was special about that was that a lot of people, especially in WrestleMania, especially in pay-per-views in general, when it comes to main events, they do a lot of the near falls, the false finishes. But the way Shawn Michaels and Undertaker did them, and the way they, got to the next one. Yeah.
It's just unreal. You think, Tombstone. I mean, Tombstone. Who gets out of a tombstone, and just jumps up?
Shawn Michaels,
like, wow.
Shawn Michaels skins the cat, but goes right into a tombstone. Now, that's creative right there. That's awesome. I thought that was just cool as hell.
And then what about the main event, man? I thought that was, between the main event, because there was so much hype, you know what I mean, with Orton and Triple H leading up to it, and you kind of expected a swerve, you know what I mean? They did the thing on Monday Night Raw where you had Vince and Shane, Stephanie's been in there at certain times, so you were kind of waiting for like a run-in or something like that, and it just didn't happen, and I think the crowd was dead by that point, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we were talking about that. We're both doing play-by-play for our websites and everything. So we're talking about the show the whole night, and everything's good. A couple things are bad, but for the most part, everything was either good or great, or in the case of HBK Undertaker, awesome. But we both agreed when it got down to Triple H versus Orton, we were kind of like, it seems like the show should be over for one, The length is too long, and now we got another at least 30-minute match coming up with this main event because it's the main event. And the fact that they I don't want to say they tried to tell the same story as Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, but the gist was no outside interferences, aside from the sledgehammer, no, gimmicks and brawling all over the place. It was just a lot of false finishes. This guy hits his finishing move, this guy hits his finishing move, but it doesn't end the match. It was the same thing, only on a smaller scale, and, not as well done as Shawn Michaels and Undertaker did it. So, at that point, I think we were ready for the show to be over, and they kind of under-delivered, I think,
And then what about the Divas match? I mean, you brought in these names like Sunny, Molly Holly, Jackie Gata, da-da-da-da-da, and they threw them all in there at one time, and it was just
you didn't even get to see him come out.
Nothing. I mean, they
came out to a Kid Rock song. You had no idea who was in there until, there was down to like 5 or 6, bitches left, pardon my French. You had no clue who was in there. You know what I mean?
He says 5 or 6 bitches left. Oh, man, dude. You're
killing us.
Divas. Divas, I'm sorry. Divas.
That was static on the phone line.
Yeah. That wasn't me.
No, everybody just got eliminated so quick. I mean, they said, "Oh, Molly Holly's eliminated," and I'm thinking, Molly Holly
was
in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Then they show Sonny and Tori walking together, and you're like, "Oh yeah, they were in it too." I mean, it only lasted about 20 seconds, but they were in it.
Yeah. I saw another reporter say they should have just hired a bunch of developmental territory, Florida Championship Wrestling. They could have had a bunch of divas, not bitches, because they're not bitches. They could have had a bunch of FCW. They could have had a bunch of FCW divas come in, and the way they did it, you'd never know. They didn't have them hit their entrance music and have their entrance. They came down during a Kid Rock song. You barely saw it. Then when they're in the ring, there's so many of them, and they all have the same hair color, the same shape, body figure. Yeah. You didn't know who they were until the announcer says, "Oh, this person's out." You're like, "That person's out. I didn't know that person was in." But other than those things, the other two things, because I'm sure you've beat WrestleMania to death at this point, I do want to say everybody's saying the Money in the Bank match was the Shelton Benjamin Showcase show. I disagree. He looked great in the match, but that was Kofi Kingston's match. I thought Kofi Kingston tore the house down and did some cool stuff. Yeah, it was a great match, and I think a lot of people are saying Hardy was good, not great. I would say it was right in between good and great. It was better than people are saying it is.
They needed sorry, I had to swallow my chicken.
Needed more time.
Yeah. No, this gives me. I mean, with Matt Boone here, we could just. If I wanted to, I could go sit back and eat my chicken right now. Let you guys go. Alexander, no doubt. But
what I'm here for, baby.
Shelton Benjamin, dude. I thought Shelton Benjamin looked great in that match, but he doesn't have the mic skills. I mean, basically the guy that wins that match, I mean, if the past is any indication, is going to go on and win the world title at some point. And CM Punk or Christian or maybe MVP. I mean, MVP was over huge in that. Every time he climbed the ladder, did you hear the crowd pop?
Yeah.
They were going nuts.
They were into Christian, too, a lot. They really seemed to be into Christian. For the entrance, for anything he did in the match, they seemed to like Christian.
Yeah. I mean, Shelton did one hell of a performance, though. I mean, his in-ring talent. And then on top of that is Kofi. I mean, I would love to see a ladders match between those two. I know we won't, but it would be awesome just to see a ladders match between those two.
I agree. And I don't want to give the wrong impression. I'm not saying Benjamin wasn't awesome. He was awesome. But people are saying it was the Shelton Benjamin showcase. Like, he was the guy. It was his match. Everybody else just happened to be in the ring with him. I say, if anything, it was Kofi Kingston's match. Everybody else happened to be in the ring with him, or it was Kofi Kingston and Shelton Benjamin's match, and everybody happened to be in the ring with both of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, because those two definitely, the way they climb the ladders to the way they take the bumps off the ladders is just remarkable. And I think them two putting them into a program would definitely show you some good wrestling techniques.
Absolutely. Nice to meet you, by the way, Jose.
Likewise, man. Likewise.
Ryan, let me know if you want me
on the air.
Ryan, let me know if you want me to run down, like, just briefly mention anything MMA coming up, because there's 2 big shows coming up in consecutive weekends. If you want me to just mention the main event.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit here for the next 12 minutes, And I'm going to let Matt Boone, Vintage Boone, and Boone, I want you to do this the right way. I want you to plug the chat. I want you to plug the phone number. I want you to do it old school Matt Boone. I'm going to sit back here and listen to the show myself. Matty Boone and Jose Rivera, and I'll come back in to close this out after I'm done eating. Sounds good?